got 122 flag, 107 front, uphill. I'm excited to share with you a lot of the lessons I've learned on the golf course to make you not only a better golfer, but a golfer that people are going to enjoy playing with more. The kind of golfer that caddies are going to enjoy having your bag. Really is the opportunity to make an impact on a lot of people in our lives. Both Melissa and I are in service to a lot of people, especially for me on the golf course and that experience I provide to my clients. But I've learned so much about people, about relationships, and I'm really looking forward to bringing those tools and lessons to our community here at Links and Lifestyle.
I missed it 4 feet to the left.
Get all that? That was like how I thought.
Hello, friend. My name is Scott Epstein, also known as Scottie the Caddie, and welcome to the Links and Lifestyle podcast. I'm grateful to be here and thankful that you're taking the time to listen. There are many things you can do with your time, and I appreciate your decision to spend this time with me. Let me start by telling this audience about myself and the reason I've started this podcast. I'm 47 years old, live right here in the Low Country in Bluffton, South Carolina, right outside Hilton Head Island and about 30 minutes north of Savannah, Georgia. I'm married 21 years to my beautiful wife and business partner, Melissa, and we have 3 amazing teenage children, Alex, Haley, and Gwen. We also have 2 dogs, Peanut and Lila. I am a family man and a deep man of faith. I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior in April of 2023, which was the best decision I've ever made. I'm also a sober man. My sobriety date is September 1st, 2014, and I'm heavily involved in my AA community. I would not live the life today if not for both of those decisions. I intentionally mention these things to describe myself before what I do for a living because society, in my opinion, puts way too much weight and emphasis on what we do for a living versus who we are and what we're about. I've done many things in my career over the course of my life, and those experiences and lessons will be shared on this podcast journey together. I am a professional caddy at 2 of the premier courses and caddy programs in the country. Secession Golf Club here in Beaufort, South Carolina since 2018, which is why our family relocated down here from New Jersey. The other is Matita Conch National Golf Club in Jackson, New Jersey, the Conch, where I spend my summers. I'm very fortunate to enjoy what I do, and the golf course truly is my happy place. My wife, Melissa, is a successful realtor and incredibly involved in our church and local community. She is many things to many people and wears lots of hats, but I'm the only one that gets to call her my wife. We're more connected and happier in our marriage now than we have ever been. It was not always that way, and it is work, and it is not easy. Those ups and downs and experiences and lessons will be shared on this podcast journey together. We're not originally from this area of South Carolina, like I mentioned, which is often referred to as the Low Country. We relocated here in 2018 from New Jersey, and it was a decision that completely changed the trajectory of our lives for the better. I will talk about that in greater detail during this journey. This podcast is named Links and Lifestyle for a very special reason. On top of our full-time roles as golf caddy and realtor, we have for a few years been brainstorming on adding something to our mix. Melissa and I created a business, Links and Lifestyle, that is a monthly subscription box that combines golf gear with faith and personal development that is truly unique and is going to make a major impact on society. We made our public announcement and officially launched the business in early January 2026. We've been sharing our story and content, which has been very exciting and rewarding and humorous, and we're just getting started. We're preparing to send our very first Founders Boxes to our subscribers, which is the culmination of a lot of hard work, and we are super pumped about that. When we launched the business, I committed to being more vulnerable and authentic in sharing our story and testimony, and in the back of my mind, I knew that I wanted to start a podcast. An important person and mentor in my life challenged me to get this started, and when I bounced the idea off another few key people in my life, they thought it was an excellent idea, so here we are. I'm not sure what platform you're listening to or watching, and if you've seen the description of this podcast, forgive me, but I want to read it aloud in my own words and allow you to feel so you, the listener, know what you're getting into and where we are headed. The Links and Lifestyle podcast is a unique combination of golf and faith. With each episode, Scottie the Caddie, that's me, is going to share his experiences to hopefully make you both a better golfer and a better person. Scottie is a family man who has a deep faith in Jesus. I'm also a sober man. I'm more than a host. I'm going to tap into a lifetime of book smarts, street smarts, life wins and losses, triumphs and challenges to take you on an exciting, unpredictable journey. Some weeks will focus on golf and specifically how to play better and also be a better person on the golf course. Some weeks will focus on something that happened in my life and dive into that from different angles and discuss lessons learned and how they can be applied to your life. There will be guests along the way to share their stories and provide tools for you to use and bring into your lives. It is a gift for me to say that and share that with you. I want to make some additional promises and commitments that I'm making to the audience, which is a play on AA and recovery. I will be authentic and vulnerable. I will bring my absolute best each week. Politics will not be discussed on this podcast, and I will be coachable and accept feedback, suggestions, and constructive criticism. This is the 9th time I'm recording this, and Melissa has had a lot of pointers to give me. All right, let us break down what the words links and lifestyle mean to me. Links. We're going to talk about golf. With a lifetime around the game and over 15 plus years carrying golf bags, I consider myself the subject matter expert in golf. Now, that does not mean I'm an expert at playing golf. Far from it. I do not play anymore. I have a bad shoulder, but I've enjoyed a life filled with experiences on the golf course that I'm going to tap into and share with this audience. There are so many lessons to take from golf that can be applied to our lives, and that is what I'm going to tap into and bring to you, the listener. Golf's taught me so much, and I've met so many incredible people along the way. I did not say incredible golfers, I said incredible people. I will share tips for playing better, and also finding more joy on the golf course. We'll talk about how to play faster and be a more enjoyable player that others want to play with. We'll also discuss how to be an easy player to caddy for. So if one day Scottie the Caddie or any one of thousands of caddies out there are on your bag, you'll know how to handle it. So if you're a Links in Lifestyle Box subscriber and or follower, welcome. If you're not, or not yet, there is a place here for you, and my hope and intention is to deliver tremendous value for you by listening to this podcast and following our social media content. We're not going to talk about professional golf in detail and what you see on TV. I may touch on it, but it's not a focus. So whether you're a high handicap golfer, low handicap, beginner, really good golfer, or know nothing about golf, there is a home here for you. And my prayer and intention is that you're going to get some value and have some fun listening to this podcast. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is defined as the way in which a person lives their life. I'm very fortunate to live a life that is joyous, happy, and free. That is verbiage from recovery. And while my life isn't perfect and has challenges, I live with a feeling of being joyous, happy, and free. Between my walk with Jesus and tools of recovery, I have a feeling and a knowing that everything's going to be okay, and I can manage whatever is put on my plate. My life has had many ups and downs and still does. Life comes at us very fast, like Ferris Bueller says, and we have thousands of situations and challenges that come up on a daily basis, and I can choose how I respond to them. We're going to dive into years and decades filled with huge wins and losses I've lived through. By being authentic and vulnerable, I will revisit times and events in my life and share lessons, both the good and the painful ones, that have been experienced and learned. I'll dive into how I handled events back then and how I would have handled them today, knowing what I know, like Marty McFly in a time machine. The story I told myself back then and the story I tell myself now, and how that may have served me and changed over the years, going back to my youth and feeling uncomfortable in my own skin, to years of drinking and partying and gambling, highs and lows in my career, family dynamics and relationships, financial ups and downs, years of rocky marriage. There's so much to unpack that I know is not only going to be a gift for me, but a gift for you, the audience, to hear and learn lessons from and impact in a positive way. So each podcast is going to close in a similar way. When I lived in New Jersey, I was part of a men's organization and part of men's teams. Many of those relationships are among the strongest and deepest that I have today, and I know some of those people will be on this podcast journey with us. Many of those experiences have shaped and contributed to the way I show up in my life today. There was a time when we met weekly and bi-weekly later, and many of the tools I use in life today started from those experiences. For years, when we met as a team, our meetings involved a win for the week and a biggest challenge for the upcoming week. The win was always backwards looking, and the challenge was something that I was currently dealing with in my life. When I have guests on the show, that'll be shared as well. So my biggest win this week is getting this podcast recorded and shared and in your hands or ears if you're listening. That was a huge, exciting step and the culmination, great line from American Pie, of a lot of work. There'll be sprinkles of movie quotes and humor in the podcast as well, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be cool. There's going to be valuable stuff and tools that you're going to get, and that's my hope. My biggest challenge is putting myself out there. Prior to the launch of this business, I've lived a very simple and in a lot of ways a fairly easy life without a big challenge or big rock I was trying to push up a hill. This is a big and scary step for Melissa and I. We're putting the final touches on the launch of our Founders Box to our subscribers and some key people and influencers. Putting my own faith and sobriety out there to the world's a big step. My years of experiences, reading the books, listening to the tapes, have prepared us for this, and yet there's still a little bit, like De Niro says, a little bit of fear and anxiety around this. The great news is that your opinion of me is none of my business. That was a huge breakthrough I learned years ago and something that serves me very well. The final closing piece each week is going to be a reading of a Bible verse that speaks to me and where I'm at in my journey. So that verse this week is going to be from Zechariah 4:10. Do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin, to see the plumb line in Zerubbabel's hand. And so what that means is a new season can sometimes feel like a letdown, especially when you were expecting it to start with fireworks. I thought we'd have 500 subscribers now, and it's more like a spark. Even so, God is rejoicing over a new beginning, and he wants you to do so. Thank God, no matter how small it seems, and start the work. Thank you for your time. We'll see you next week.